Hello everyone, welcome to this series. In this series, we are going to learn about the LeetCode problems and their solutions. And in this lecture, we are going to learn about the LeetCode's first problem, that is two-sum. And let me tell you one thing. In this lecture, I have dealt this problem from scratch as per the logic is concerned. And let's start. And let us see the outcomes from this lecture. At first, we will see the LeetCode platform introduction, and followed by that, we will see the prerequisites required for this problem. And after that, we see the problem description of this two-sum. But after understanding the problem, we will write the pseudocode, that is algorithm for this problem. And after writing the pseudocode, we will trace this pseudocode. That means we will take an example and see the working of this pseudocode. And after tracing, we will write the Java code based on this pseudocode. Okay, if you're new to the LeetCode platform, let me quickly guide you through the coding interface. Here in left side, they given the problem description which explains you the question which you need to solve. On right side in top section, they given code editor. You can give your solution here in the languages they specified. In bottom section, they given the test cases. And also when you run this solution, your output also displayed in this section only. When we click on the submit button, your solution is runs against all the hidden test cases. And if it passes through all the test cases, then it is saved and you can find it later through this submissions tab. And one more important thing is they given a profile icon in top right corner. You can find your profile and submissions history, etc. from here itself. I will provide this problem link in description, or else you can go to Google and search for LeetCode two-sum. And without any further delay, let us dive into our presentation. First, let's go over the prerequisites required for this problem. In the first one is arrays data structure, because they are giving the input data in the form of arrays. Next, we are working with for loops and if condition to traverse this array and to check the condition given by them. Next, let's see the problem description. They are given an array of integers and an integer target. Let's visualize this. Here, this is the array of integers and this is the target. We have to return or find the indexes of two numbers such that they add up to the target. Here we have to return two numbers, let I, j, such that nums of I and nums of j, that means values at I, j. Value at I is nums of I and value at j is nums of j. So nums of I plus nums of j must be equals to the target. Let's take an example. Here in this example, array is 5 to 711 and target is 9. Let's break this statement into two statements. That first one is we have to find two numbers such that they have to add up to target. Here by seeing this array, we can say that 2 plus 7 is equals to 9. So we have done with first statement. That is two numbers we have to find such that they add up to the target. And second statement is we have to return the indexes of the two numbers. Here the two numbers are 2, 7, and we have to return the indexes of the two numbers, that is 1, 2. Here we have to return 1, 2 such that nums of 1 plus nums of 2 must be equals to target. That is nums of 1 is 2 and nums of 2 is 7. 2 plus 7 must be equals to target. Their target is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9 and target is 9. Yes, they are equal. And they also given a guarantee that each input would have exactly one solution. That means each input array will have only one pair of numbers such that their summation will equals to the target. Let me take another example to understand. Here in this example, nums array is 3, 2, 5, 6 and target is 8. Here the solution is 3 plus 5 equals to 8. But wait, we have another solution, that is 2 plus 6 is also 8. Wow, what we have to return? So we have a little bit confusion here. So in order to decrease this confusion, they have given this guarantee. And they also given a condition, that is we are not allowed to return same index twice. That means the values that we are returning may not be equal. Let me take another example to understand why they given this condition. Here in this example, nums array is 4, 2, 5, 6 and targeting 8. Here the actual solution is 2 plus 6 is equals to 8. That means we have to return 1, 3. But when they didn't given this condition, can also return 0, 0. That is 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. Of course, this is satisfies our primary condition. But this didn't satisfy our new condition. If they didn't given this condition, they have to design the test cases by considering this all loopholes. So in order to decrease their complexity, they have given this condition. And let me tell you one point. Here, these values may be equal. It's allowed. But these indexes may not be equal. Let me show you another example. Here in this example, nums array is 4, 2, 4, 5 and target is 8. And our solution is 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. That means we have to return 0, 2. That is 4 plus 4 equals to 8. That is our primary condition and our new condition also, as here the indexes are not equal. That is they mention that about index only. They may not be mentioned about these values. So that's it. In simple way, they have given an array, nums and a target. We have to return or find the two indexes such that the values at that indexes summation must be equals to the target. Now let us find out the solution for this problem. Now we have to write our solution in any language they provided. They provided some famous languages like our C, Java or Python. Now explaining the code in every language will kill my time. So now I am going to explain algorithm or pseudocode for this problem. Before going to algorithm, let me tell a common point in every language, that they are given a function called toSum and their arguments are nums array and integer target. you can see in every language. That is their common points. And we have to return an array. You can see an array. We have to return an array. That is our two pair solutions. That's like. And let's go to our algorithm. Now we have to implement our logic in this toSum function provided by the LeetCode. On LeetCode's compiler automatically handles input reading and output printing. So we only need to focus on implementing the function only. And let's start with our example. This is the example we have seen previously. As a humans, we can directly say we can return 1, 2 as 2 plus 7 equals to 9. However, a computer doesn't understand the logic like humans do. We need to implement our way of thinking in a sequential manner. And now our primary aim is to find two numbers from this array. So we need to traverse this array. To traverse this array, we need a variable. Let us take a variable I. This I starts at 0 and ends at 3. That is 4 minus 1. That 4 is the length of this array. And at every index, it checks the condition. So we have to repeat the process at every index. So we use loops concept here. And to traversing the array, the best loop is for loop. And the for loop uses this I variable. So we can write like for I from 0 to length of nums minus 1. Here calculating length of nums at every index will decrease our efficiency. So we can assign the length of nums to new variable that is n. And we can replace this with n. Now this I variable iterates over the array. It's fine. But we need to find two variables. This I axis only one variable for one iteration. So we need to take another variable. Because for example, we can take this I is at 5. We have to check 5 plus 2 equals to 9 or not, and 5 plus 7 equals to 9 or not, and so on. So we need another variable. That is, we can take j. This j starts after the I. That means I plus 1 and ends at 3. Here we can write like for j from I plus 1 to n minus 1. Why we are taking I plus 1 here? Why not 0? We will understand this when we are tracing this pseudocode. Now we have written code for traversing the array. And we have to check the condition given by them. At beginning, we have seen a statement like we have to return I comma j such that nums of I plus nums of j equals to target. Here, when nums of I plus nums of j is equals to target, then only we have to return I comma j. That means this is the condition. When this condition satisfies, we have to do this. So we can take this as our condition. Use if condition here. Like if nums of I plus nums of j equals to target. This equals to compares left value and right value are equals or not. So it executes the inner statements. If not, it skips. Next, we have to write something inside the if condition. We can say like we can write an return statement that is return I comma j here. but there is return statement at end of the function already given. Some people may say like remove this return statement and give this return I comma j here. But for some languages like Java, it's mandatory to mention return statement at end of the function. So we couldn't disturb this. Instead, we can assign this I comma j values to idx1 and idx2 respectively. Now we can write like idx1 equals to I and idx2 equals to j. And why this break statement came? This break statement exit from the for loops. So when we find the solution, it can automatically stop the traversing the array. So here time complexity will be reduced. And when this break statement is given, we can go to the return statement at end of the program. And some people may have doubt like there is another condition that is I not equals to j. We didn't mention that condition why? Because if we observe, we have started j value at I plus 1 for every time. So there is no chance of equivalence of I and j. So we need not to be bothered about that condition. And now let's start the tracing this code. Now we will start tracing this code with this example. And note a point, I have removed the break statement here to focus the main logic. And let's start the tracing. Here the first line, that is we have to assign nums and target variables. Here nums is assigned with the 5 to 7 level and target is assigned with 9. Our compiler will go to the next line, that is n equals to length of nums. Here length of the nums is 4 because it has 4 variables. So length of nums is 4. Here it is updated the length of nums with 4. So n equals to 4. And here n minus 1 is updated with 3. And here also. Now our compiler will go to the next line. Here the first for loop will start with I equals to 0. I equals to 0. And here the I plus 1 is updated with 1. Now our compiler will comes to next line. Here the next second for loop will start at j equals to 1. Our compiler will go to the next line. Here it checks the condition given by us. That is nums of I. Nums of I is nums of 0. So here nums of 0 value is 5. And nums of j, that is nums of 1 value is 2. So it compares for 5 plus 2 is equals to target or not. Here target is 9. So 5 plus 2, that is 7, not equals to 9. So condition is false. Now the compiler will go back to the for loop. Here j is incremented to 2. And this j is moved to the next position. That is 2. And compiler will go to the next line. And again checks the condition. Here nums of I is 5 and nums of j is 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. So 12 is not equals to 9. So condition is false. So compilers go back to the for loop. Here j is updated to 3. And here it moves to the next position. Now nums of I value is 5 and nums of j value is 11. 5 plus 11, that is 16, not equals to 9. So condition false. It has to goes to back to the for loop. Here second for loop, that is for j, is reached to 3. So here the for loop is ended. So the compiler will goes to the first for loop. Here I is incremented to 1. And this will goes to the next position. Now compiler will goes to next line. Before that, I plus 1 is updated to 2. And this goes to next line. Now j is started at 2. Here we take j. Now compiler goes to next line. Here it has to check the condition. Now nums of I, that is nums of 1. Nums of 1 value is 2. And nums of 2 value is 7. 2 plus 7. 2 plus 7 is equals to 9. As 2 plus 7 equals to 9, the condition is satisfied. So the compiler will go to the next line, that is inside the if condition. That is IDEX1 is assigned with I. And I value is 1. So IDEX is assigned with 1. And j value is 2. So IDEX2 is assigned with 2. And as I told, I will add a break statement here. Here the break statement will move the compiler to out of the for loops and executes after the for loop. After the for loop, we have return statement. That is return IDEX1, IDEX2. So we will return 1, 2 here. And I have previously told one thing, that why we are starting j e from I plus 1. That is, for example, let we start the j at 0 position. That means nums of j will become 5 and nums of I will become 2. That means we are checking the condition for 5 plus 2, which we have checked in the previous iteration. So that's why we are starting the j at I plus 1. So our time complexity will be reduced. And that's it. Our tracing will completed. Here we used 2 for loops for traversing the array. And we use if condition to check the given condition. We are assigning the I, j to IDX1 and IDX2. And we are breaking the statement to exit from the for loops. And we are returning the values. Okay, now let us write the Java code based on this algorithm. Now we can see here we need to declare a function named as toSum. Parameter, nums and target. Here we can write like toSum function and in that parameters are there with the data type. Here nums data type is integer array. So int and square brackets. And the target data type is int. So we have keep it as int. And in Java, we need to specify the return type of the function. So here we are returning an integer array. So we are specifying the your int square brackets. And what is this public? This is the access specifier, which gives the access to other users within your network. Here why we give public means here LeetCode compiler needs access to this block of code we are returning. Without mentioning this public, it can't access the code. And we didn't get the output. So we are giving public here. Next, coming to the code, we need to assign the length of the nums to n. In Java, our arrays library we have a field that is length. So we can get the length of an array by putting the dot length after the array name. Here we can write like n equals to nums dot length. So this gives the length of this nums array, and it assigns to this n variable. And in Java, we know that we have to specify the data type of a new variable. Now, next we have to start a for loop with a variable I. Here the I is initialized with 0 and it has to be end at n minus 1. So we need to take a condition that I less than n. So it ends at n minus 1. And we have to iterate the I with 1 at every iteration. So we write like for int I equals to 0. That means we are initializing the I variable. And we are writing the condition that I less than n. That means I value ends at n minus 1. We are incrementing the I value for every iteration. So we will go to the next for loop, inside for loop with variable j. Here j variable initialized with I plus 1 and ends at n minus 1. That means j is assigned with I plus 1. And here the condition is same, j less than n. And incrementing the j with 1 at every iteration. Here we can write like for int j equals to I plus 1. And j less than n, that is the condition. And j plus plus, there is the increment happened at every iteration. Now inside this for loop, we need to return the if condition. Here we can directly write the if followed by parenthesis, and in that parenthesis we need to write the condition. Here as usual this condition is written here, but we need to write the condition inside the parenthesis only. That is the Java syntax. And the statements inside the if condition must be written in the curly braces itself. It's also Java syntax. Now inside this if condition, we have to assign the I comma j to idx1 and idx2. And this is same exactly written in Java. Same like that. But we need to specify the semicolons here. Break also same. In Java we have break statement as break only. But in Java, we need to declare the variables before using. Here idx1 and idx2 are not declared. So we need to declare before using. Here we can declare like idx1 equals to 0 and idx2 equals to 0. And at final, we need to return the array. Here we can return a new int array that is idx1 and idx2. This is the syntax in Java to create a new array. And these are the variables inside that array. That's it. Let us run this code in LeetCode compiler. This is the code we have written in the presentation. And let me copy the code inside the function. And we don't need to copy this function declaration and all this, because let me show the LeetCode compiler. Here you can see the function declarations are taken care by the LeetCode developers. We just need to paste the code inside the function. So I have pasted the code inside the function. Okay, let us first run this code. This code will run against the test cases, and as it is passed the primary 3 test cases, we will submit this code. Now it will pass against all the sub test cases available in the LeetCode compiler. Here it has run against the 63 test cases and passed all the 63 test cases. So this solution is accepted by them. And you can see the runtime at 33 milliseconds. Thank you and see you soon in next video.